Welcome back to Learn English with Nick. I'm Nick,
I am Jackie.
and today we are going to talk about something incredibly practical, especially if you love to travel, navigating airport check-in, and, those all-important special requests. For many people, the whole airport experience, well, could feel like a bit of a gauntlet candidate. Long lines, heavy bags, maybe last-minute changes. I think we've all been there.
Oh, it's true. Airports can seem like a bit of a labyrinth sometimes, and
Yeah,
when you add potential language barriers into the mix, yeah, that can really ramp up the stress.
definitely.
But, how much of that stress can actually be eased just by having the right words and knowing what to expect?
Right. Our mission today is really to make those interactions straightforward for you. We'll focus on short, polite lines you can confidently use right there at the check-in counter.
And it's important to remember, isn't it, that the staff, well, they generally want to help you. So keeping calm and being polite, that's always your best strategy.
Absolutely. Calm and polite goes a long way.
And we're going to tackle this using role play in levels. It's basically a progressive learning method. We start with the easier scenario of the basics and then gradually add new, more complex situations.
Yeah, stuff they say, you'll hear an authentic dialogue first, like a mini conversation, and then we'll break it right down sentence by sentence. We'll explain all the key phrases and, the cultural bits too.
Exactly. It's designed to build your confidence, not just with the English words, but with understanding the whole sort of airport dance, how it works.
Okay, so have you ever found yourself worrying if your bag is too heavy and you didn't quite know how to ask about it?
Or maybe you just really wanted that window seat, but weren't sure how to phrase the request.
Or what if you actually missed your flight? Scary thought.
It is. But look, don't worry about those moments anymore. Like our advice, as always, is keep your sentences short and clear, be calm, be polite.
The staff are there to assist you, and we'll show you how to get yourself ready with the phrases you actually need.
And we'll cover so much more too. Like, what if you need a kid's meal for your little one?
Yeah. Or maybe you're traveling with something a bit unusual, like a guitar, and need to know how to handle that.
Or perhaps you're a frequent flyer, just trying to find the VIP lounge. Where is it? How do I get in?
We'll cover all of that today, step by step. Our goal is to give you the language tools you need for a much smoother journey.
Okay, sounds good. We're starting with level one, basic check-in. This is really the most fundamental interaction, isn't it? Just confirming your flight and showing your ID.
The absolute starting point.
So I will be the passenger and you will be the ground crew.
Sure, let's do it.
Hello, I'd like to check in for flight AB123 to London.
May I see your passport, please?
Sure, here you are.
Do you have any checked luggages?
Yes, one luggage.
Please place it on the conveyor belt and weigh your luggage. Thank you. It weighs 22.8 kilos within the 23-kilo allowance.
Great.
For safety, any prohibited items like liquids over 100 milliliters, sharp objects, or batteries in the carry-on bag.
No prohibited items, and my power bank is in my carry-on.
Excellent. Do you have a seat preference, window or aisle?
A window seat if possible, please.
I can offer 21A, a window seat. Will that work?
Yes, thank you.
Any special meal requests?
Regular meal is fine.
All set. Here are your boarding pass and baggage receipt. Your bag is tagged to London Heathrow. Boarding starts at 10:15 at gate A12. Your boarding group is 3.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Security is straight ahead. Have a pleasant flight.
All right, quick breakdown of that check-in exchange. So that opening phrase, I'd like to check in for flight A, B, 1, 2, 3 to London. It's very direct, very clear.
I'd like to plus verb is a beautifully polite and really common pattern for making a request in English. It's much softer, maybe a bit more formal than just saying, I want to.
Next, identification. This always comes early. May I see your passport, please?
Right, less demanding.
Exactly. It clearly expresses what you need without sounding abrupt. And the key words there are pretty obvious. Check in your specific flight number and your destination gets the job done efficiently.
And then the crew's response, may I see your passport, please? Staff very commonly use, may I? It's their standard polite way to ask for something. And a simple, confident, sure, here you are, is the perfect polite answer from you.
After that, yeah, they'll almost always ask about your luggage. Do you have any checked luggages? This brings up a few more crucial keywords.
Right? A checked luggage is the one that goes into the plane's cargo hold down below. That's different from a carry-on, which is the bag that stays with you in the cabin.
Good distinction.
Next up, the scale. In our role play, the passenger brought a luggage within the limit. How about when the luggage overloads?
That's a common one and often pretty stressful. What happens when your bag is heavier than allowed? How do we handle that calmly?
The crew will then tell the passenger that the bag is over the limit. She will probably ask if the passenger wants to pay the extra fee or remove some items.
While paying the fee at the counter is always an option, many airlines offer much cheaper rates if you pre-purchase extra baggage allowance online before you even get to the airport.
Good tip. Planning ahead saves money.
Definitely. A quick check of your airline's website, their policy could save you quite a bit. But, okay, if you are at the counter, notice how the agent gives you two very clear choices. Pay the fee or remove some items.
Yeah, the two main options.
Okay, so we've handled the basics and the tricky overweight bag. But what if your luggage isn't just heavy, but it's a little special? We're talking about how to communicate those unique needs when you have something a bit out of the ordinary, maybe fruit or a musical instrument.
Fresh fruits may have restrictions. Sometimes you may need to declare it at customs on arrival.
Yeah, many countries have really strict restrictions on bringing in fresh produce.
Failing to declare even, say, a single apple you forgot was in your bag can sometimes lead to quite hefty fines or significant delays at customs, even if it was just an honest mistake. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah,
And for things like instruments, like the guitar, the best practice is always to use a proper hard case for protection. The airline will add that fragile tag and use special handling, sure, but that hard case is really your first line of defense.
makes sense. Protect your stuff.
Next up, special meal requests. This is vital for making sure your dietary needs, or maybe those of your family traveling with you, are met during the flight.
Very important for comfort and sometimes health. You may ask the crew, could you add a vegetarian meal to my booking, please?
It's just a soft, polite, and incredibly effective way to make requests. It works really well in these situations.
But a practical question, how far in advance do these meal requests usually need to be made?
It's really best to request special meals at least 24 to 48 hours before your flight. Often, you do it when you book online.
So not usually at the check-in counter?
Generally, no, but you can.
Trying to request them right there at check-in is usually too late for the airline catering to actually adjust things. You need to give them notice.
Okay,
The keywords themselves are pretty straightforward: vegetarian meal, kids meal, and being specific about any allergies, like a nut allergy. And the crew may confirm by saying, "Wekwinino will inform the crew." That's a good detail to hear.
definitely. Okay, moving to seat arrangements. This is all about getting the seat you want, isn't it? Whether it's a window, maybe an aisle seat, or sitting together with your group.
Always a popular topic. It's straightforward because the crew only asks if you want a window or aisle seat, but sometimes, what about you want an extra legroom seat? Tempting, right? Exit row and more space, but they usually cost extra.
Is it worth it? Depends. Long haul, you're tall, or you've got a kid. Paying a bit more can make the flight easier.
And what is the strategy if a group of passengers find themselves assigned seats in completely separate rows and they really want to sit together?
Yeah, that happens. Well, the pattern, could I, we have, is your essential phrase for any seat request. It's polite and direct. If you find you're not seated together, asking politely right there at check-in, like we just heard, that's definitely your first step.
Now, a little tip: if the check-in agent can't help for some reason, maybe the flight's really full, you can also try politely asking fellow passengers, maybe at the gate or even once you're on the plane, if they might be willing to swap seats. Sometimes people are happy to help,
Worth a try, politely.
and then you get your boarding pass. That's your actual ticket to get onto the plane. It'll show your gate number. That's the door you go to. And your boarding time when you should be at that gate. All really crucial info for your journey.
And a practical detail to remember, if your seats do change for any reason, they will always reprint your boarding passes. Always double check those new passes to make sure you know your new seat assignment and avoid any confusion later on.
Good point. Check the new pass carefully.
Sometimes there is some stressful situation, late check-in.
This often means you might need to change your flight. How do you calmly ask for rebooking when things go wrong, especially when you're probably feeling rushed and anxious?
Yeah, deep breaths needed for this one.
So a passenger may say, "I'm late. I missed my flight to Seoul."
The crew will say, I'm sorry. Let me check the next flight. There's one at 1845. There is a change fee.
And the passenger can request for rebooking the flight and reissuing the ticket.
What else should we really understand about navigating a missed flight situation like this? Well, when you're in this unfortunate situation, those phrases are absolutely essential to just get straight to the point. Time is often critical.
Now, what's really crucial here, and something maybe people don't always think about, is understanding your ticket type, the rules.
Ah, the fare rules.
Exactly. Those cheaper, economy, basic type fares, they often have very high change fees or sometimes even no rebooking options at all if you miss the flight. Whereas more flexible, usually more expensive tickets might come with lower change fees or even allow free changes.
So it pays to know what kind of ticket you bought.
It really does. Always worth glancing at your fare rules before you fly if you can. The crew will probably mention a change fee and talk about needing to reissue the ticket, which just means they're creating a new ticket for your new flight details.
And sometimes, though it's maybe less common these days, Standby might also be offered as an option if the next flight is technically full.
Standby, what's that exactly?
Oh, that means you basically wait at the gate, hoping that an already booked passenger doesn't show up, leaving being an empty seat for you at the very last minute. No guarantee, but sometimes it works out.
Right, a bit of a gamble. Okay, now about the interchanging connecting flight details. This is all about understanding your journey beyond your first flight. Especially important if you have connecting flights and you need to make sure your baggage gets where it needs to go too.
Connections can be tight sometimes.
When it comes to connecting flights, yeah, things can get really tricky, can't they? What are the absolute must-ask questions to make sure you don't miss that next flight or, heaven forbid, lose your bag?
The two questions you can ask: what is my gate and terminal for the connection? And is my baggage checked through? Those are critical. They are your absolute priorities. Get that information.
Gate, terminal, bag check. Got it.
You'll hear terms like transfer time, which just refers to how long you actually have between your flight's land and the next one takes off.
Now, a reminder, if your transfer time looks really short, like an hour or less, it might be worth asking the crew if they can perhaps make a note on your booking for, say, expedited transfer or maybe priority handling for your bag. Doesn't always work, but worth asking.
Uh, Good idea. Try to speed things up.
Couldn't hurt. And that core concept of your baggage being checked through to your final destination, that's key. It means you don't need to pick up your bag and then check it in again during your layover. It just goes automatically to the next plane. Saves a huge amount of time and stress.
Oh, that's a relief when that happens.
Okay, the next topic is about buying a ticket on the spot. Sometimes travel plans are just really last minute, and you might find yourself needing to purchase a ticket directly at the airport counter.
It happens. What advice would you give to someone who finds themselves in this situation, needing to buy a ticket right there at the airport?
The key is just to be as clear and concise as you can with your request. State what you need, ticket type, one-way return, destination, and date today. The keywords to listen for from the crew are fare, which is simply the price of the ticket and whether there are seats available.
Seems simple enough.
It is, but here's a little secret, or maybe not so secret. Buying tickets right at the airport ticket counter is almost always more expensive than buying online in advance, often significantly more expensive.
Really? Why's that?
Well, last-minute fares generally carry a premium price. Airlines know people buying at the last minute are often doing so out of necessity, not choice. So while it's definitely an option for emergencies, it's rarely the budget-friendly choice.
Good to bear in mind. Avoid if possible, financially speaking.
Pretty much, and of course, you'll need your passport and a credit card ready to make the purchase. Straightforward process, but potentially pricey.
Okay. And one more thing. Have you noticed that the airline companies usually have member VIP lounge and perks?
Now, this is more for the frequent travelers or maybe those flying in premium classes like business or first. Knowing how to actually access and ask about those airport lounges.
Okay, so the initial questions are key here. Where is the lounge for members? And can I use the lounge? Pretty basic. But once you've established you can get in, what are the most valuable perks to maybe ask about and why? What should people look out for?
Yeah. Knowing if you can get in is step one. Understanding your eligibility is crucial. Key words like membership card, your frequent flyer status, or flying in business class will usually dictate access.
Exactly. Once you're cleared for entry, then yeah, you'll want to know the perks basically and the benefits you get inside beyond the obvious things like snacks and drinks, which are usually standard. The real value for many travelers, especially on long journeys, often lies in things like reliable Wi Fi, access to showers if you have a long layover and want to freshen up.
So showers are great on a long trip.
They really are. And also finding a quiet area or quiet seats just to relax or maybe get some work done away from the hustle and bustle of the main terminal.
Yeah, escape the noise for a bit.
Exactly. And don't forget to ask about the guest policy if you happen to be traveling with someone who might not have access themselves. And check the opening hours too to make sure it fits with your flight schedule. It really makes you appreciate how many little pieces of information come together to make a journey smooth, doesn't it?
It really does.
Wow. What an incredible journey today. We've covered so much practical ground today, haven't we? From the absolute basics of check-in right up to accessing a VIP lounge. These phrases, they really are powerful tools for smoother travel.
Indeed, we've definitely built up quite a useful toolkit today. Just to recap some key things, for making polite requests, remember those key patterns we talked about. I'd like to plus verb, may I, could you plus action, please, and could I, we have. Those are your real go-to structures for almost any request you need to make.
And remember, too, that confidence in these situations often comes simply from knowing you have the right words to use. So don't be afraid to politely assert your needs. Ask for what you want or need.
Yeah, definitely. And to really master these, why not try practicing the dialogues we shared today? Maybe even rope in a friend to role play the agent and passenger parts.
That's a great idea. And here's a final thought. The next time you are actually at an airport, I really encourage you to just listen closely. Listen to the words and phrases being used around you at the check-in counters, at the gates.
You'll probably be surprised how many of today's phrases you'll actually hear being used, and maybe even more surprised by how easily you can start using them yourself to make your own journey that much smoother.
Absolutely. Use the language. Feel the confidence grow.
Thanks for hanging out with us for this Airport English episode. We hope you're feeling more confident for your next trip.
Before you go, tell us your best or wildest check-in story. We love reading them.
If today helped, tap like and share it with a friend who's flying soon.
And don't forget to subscribe to Learn English with Nick.
Turn on notifications so you won't miss our next bite-sized real-world English lesson.
See you next time.